friends, my name is Shayla and today I am here with my giant stacks of manga for my fourth quarter manga haul. Yes, I know these hauls are coming to you late and I'm sorry that they're late. I got swamped with end of the year material and all those kinds of things, but I'm getting them to you now. That's what's important. That's what matters. I'm really worried about these stacks tipping over, so I'm just gonna go ahead and dive right in. We're just gonna start at the top and work our way down, okay? Alrighty, so first up I have a complete series, and that is volumes 1 through 6 of Demon Love Spell. Demon Love Spell is a series that I binged and loved, and I have a dedicated review to my thoughts on this particular manga, so I will definitely leave that linked for you. But essentially this is about a girl who lives in a shrine getting a notice at her school that there was some sort of demon there. She goes to hunt it down. She finds this succubus or incubus, I forget which one he is. Anyways, his name is Kagura, and because she can't really see the demons very well, he ends up forming a contract with her essentially to help her. And, you know, of course, he's a horny little bugger, and so there's a lot of sexual tension in the series. It's really fun. The art is absolutely beautiful. This is by Mayu Shinjo, and I highly recommend the series as a whole. I loved it. But yes, if you want more of my full and more complete thoughts, definitely check out that review. Next, I have volumes 1 and 2 of Yotsuba. I've heard this is a really cute slice of life series. I tend to really adore slice of life, so I really wanted to try this one out. I've heard nothing but good things, male and female alike, from a wide variety of creators. So this is one that I'm genuinely interested in seeing my thoughts on. Next we have SP Baby volumes 1 and 2. These are both by Maki and Joji, and Maki and Joji is slowly becoming a mangaka that I'm falling in love with. This is the same person who does An Incurable Case of Love and Happy Marriage. I have not read Happy Marriage yet. I wanted to try this one first. I know I like An Incurable Case of Love, so I'm really interested to get my thoughts on this one, and then I will move on to Happy Marriage. Next, I have the next volume in Your Lie in April. This is one that I'm just collecting slowly as I find it on sale, and this is volume 6. I believe there's only 10 volumes in the series, so I'm over halfway now. But again, I just picked this up during sale time, and it's a series I love and adore. You can check out the beautiful anime, or the art in these is absolutely stunning. It's late enough in the series it's too spoilery for me to show you anything. But check out any of my other hauls in 2019 and you will definitely see me flip open a panel. It's absolutely stunning. I absolutely love it. Next on the stack we have the final volume of The Water Dragon's Bride. I loved how Toma decided to conclude this series. It was a little bit sad, of course, but I absolutely adored it. I have no regrets. It's beautiful. It's stunning. Highly recommend the series. I also recommend Dawn of the Arcana by the same mangaka. Rei Toma is definitely high on my list of mangaka that I love. Next we have one that I'm surprised I haven't read yet, and that is Waiting for Spring Volume 12. This is high on my list to get read soon. I am so excited. This is my ship on the cover, and I know we only have, I think, one more volume after this. So, and there was a huge, confession-style cliffhanger at the end of the previous volume, and I need the reaction. I don't know why I haven't picked this up yet. Clearly, I've just been, in another world, because, yeah, this is high on my list, guys, and you know that. And, yes, highly recommend this series as a whole. I would even recommend this to people who normally read, sports manga. Actually, if you're a Haikyuu fan, you would probably adore this. The basketball panels are stunning. Again, 12 volumes in, it's too many spoilers, I can't show you. But the basketball panels are absolutely beautiful. I believe I mentioned this in my Shoujo for Guys video. So you're welcome to check out more of the art from there. Next we have Our Dreams at Dusk Volume 4. This is another one that I'm surprised I haven't gotten to yet, but intend to get to very soon. This is the final volume in a very beautiful LGBT manga written by a non-binary mangaka, which is really cool. If you guys have not checked out this series, you definitely need to. It's hard to read at times, I'm not going to deny that. The amount of slurs thrown at these people in the LGBT community is awful. I will never say that that's okay, because it's not. And I just recommend the series as a whole. I feel like I have learned a lot about that community, as I'm not specifically a member, from reading this. and just about more of the internal struggles that people go through as they seek out their identity. So for me, this is something I want my future children to read so that they understand and are kind to people in the community. I live in a place where people automatically judge somebody if they say they're a member of the LGBT community, and I don't want my children to do that to others. And yes, so highly recommend the series. Next, we have Hatsuharu Volume 9. You guys know I love this series. This is another one that I think is great for shonen readers, where we have mainly a male protagonist who was kind of a playboy, and what happens is our main girl here, her friend gets hurt by this guy, and so she goes up and basically decks him in the face, and all of a sudden he only has eyes for her. He stops his player ways, and he's trying to win her over, and obviously by this cover he kind of has. So this series is adorable. If you like my love story, you'll like this one as well. Highly recommend. Next, we have volumes 3 and 4 of Strobe Edge. Again, this is another one that I'm just kind of slowly collecting. I'm hoping to collect it all before it goes out of print. I know we're getting another Ayosaki Saka series in 2020, so I'm probably going to swiftly have to collect the rest of this to make sure it doesn't go out of print on me. But this is like a Love Square style manga. It's really interesting. It's pretty much high school drama, so if you don't like that kind of a series, you're not going to enjoy this. But I definitely, it's my thing. Don't judge. Next, I have volume 11 and 12 of Takane and Hana. You guys know I'm obsessed with Takane and Hana. This is an age gap romance in which this high schooler has to go and fill in for her sister at a marriage interview with Takane, who is about 27. So they're about 10 years apart in age. And she basically stands up to him and yells at him in the first novel, and that intrigues him because nobody treats him that way. And so they are kind of engaged in this intent to marry kind of contract, but because she's underage, Takane keeps putting it off because he wants to make sure she's 100% sure. We're 12 volumes in at this point. It's so good. I really like it. It's slow going. Nothing inappropriate is happening. It's not icky. It's hilarious. So definitely try this one. Next, we have the next volume of Requiem of the Rose King. It is my mission to get everybody to read this. This is a very much like Game of Thrones style political fantasy, which is a mashup of Richard III and Henry VI. There is a really interesting spin on Richard's character, and I absolutely love and adore it for that. I highly recommend the series as a whole and want you guys to all check this out. Next, we have the final volume of Mythical Beast Investigator. I was really sad when I found out this was only 2 volumes. I do have a dedicated review to this one as well, so I will leave that linked for you. Next up, I have another complete series, and that is Beasts of Abigail, or Abigail E. I'm not 100% sure how you pronounce that, but in this we're dealing with werewolves who are essentially trapped on an Alcatraz-style island, and they are not allowed to leave, and they are treated as prisoners by the humans. And it's really interesting. There's some romance, there's political dynamics of the school, and it's so good. Like, it blew me away, and it's just a short 4-volume series. I highly recommend it. The art is absolutely beautiful in this one, and it's just so good. Again, highly recommend. Next, we have volumes 20 and 21 of Yona of the Dawn. You guys know my obsession with Yona of the Dawn. I don't have to explain this. This is one of the best political fantasy shoujos on the market right now, and I strongly recommend any manga reader to at least check it out. If it doesn't agree with you after 2 or 3 volumes, I understand, but give it at least 2 or 3. The first volume, Yona's a little bit difficult to like, but Yona is forced through this series to grow up very quickly, so definitely give it a shot. Like, give it 2 or 3 volumes. If you don't like it by then, go ahead and set down the series, and I won't judge you for it. But give it at least that much, because it is seriously so good. Next up, we have Daytime Shooting Star Volume 3. This is another series that you guys know that I absolutely love and adore. I love Suzume. She is a girl who is forced to move to Tokyo because her parents decide, her dad gets a job overseas and her mom goes with, but she wants to finish out school in Japan. So she goes to live with her uncle in Tokyo. And there's this weird kind of love triangle between her and one of her fellow students, and then one of her teachers. I'm rooting for the student to win, not the teacher. I really hope the student comes through in the end, because I like their dynamic much more than the one with the teacher. which is weird for me to say because I usually root for the age gap. Next, we have volume 6 of Shortcake Cake, which I did enjoy more than volume 5 if you looked at my previous haul. I really like this series. This is a boarding house style shoujo in which our main girl character 10 is kind of forced to choose between these two guys. So it's a love triangle within the house. I really enjoy it. One of them goes to a different school, so one she sees at school all the time and the other she doesn't. She only sees at home. It's really interesting. I really like it. Definitely check it out. Next, I have Nicola traveling around the demon's world. This is one of the most adorable mangas I've ever read. One thing that's also nice about it is it's more of a brown sketch style art rather than a black, and it just softens the pages and softens the look. And so we're following this little human girl who ends up trapped in the demon realm, and this little demon guy is just kind of showing her around, trying to help guide her back to her people. It's really cute. I really love it. If you have not checked this one out, I highly recommend you do. Next, we have Miss Koizumi Loves Ramen Noodles. This volume of manga is definitely a foodie manga. I mean, check that out, guys. Read it just for the art because it's absolutely beautiful. Essentially, it's about this girl who keeps her distance, but she's obsessed with ramen. And one of her classmates who wants to become her friend finds out. And so she starts to follow her around to all these different ramen shops, and they start to go try some together and start a blooming friendship. It's really cute. I really like it. And again, it's just beautiful foodie art, and it makes me very hungry when I read it. Next is one that I haven't gotten to yet, and that is Kaiju Girl Caramelized Volumes 1 and 2. From my friends who know me, who have read this, because it deals with the monster girl, I wasn't sure I wanted to dive in, but they have reassured me this is something I am going to be all about. This is something I plan on reading very soon, so look forward to that coming up very shortly. I may have mentioned this one in my previous haul, but I'm just going to mention them both. So I've got volumes 4 and 5 of Eden Zero. I still need to read both of them. I've just been distracted by other shiny things. It's not that I'm not enjoying this, because I am. And I'm really looking forward to continuing on with this story. I feel like this goes deeper and darker than Fairy Tail was ever willing to go. And so I'm really excited to continue on. Alrighty, so next up we have Volume 2 and Volume 3 of QQ Sweeper. And this will complete the QQ Sweeper edition of this. I do know that this morphs into Queen's Quality and continues on after this volume ends. So I do plan on going back and getting all of the Queen's Quality volumes as well, because I love Motomi's art. So I plan on collecting all of Queen's Quality and QQ Sweeper because I want the complete collection, because, you know, I'm a collector and I like to support the mangakas that I love, so don't judge. Next up, we have Kami-sama Kiss. I picked up Volume 10 because Aisha over at Mama Loves Manga picked up Volume 11 for me, and she was so sweet. She just didn't know Volume 10 was further down on my Amazon list. So I went ahead and picked that up so that I can get to her gift as soon as possible. This is a series I love and adore. We're dealing with a girl who is basically gifted the abilities to become a shrine maiden, and this is her familiar who helps her take care of the shrine, and he's actually a demon fox, and it's really interesting. It's really funny. One of my favorite shoujos. It's been a while since I've watched the anime, but I plan on rewatching it soon. But yes, it's good. It's fun. I love it. Next up, we have Volume 7 and Volume 8 of Eoharu Ride. I have read Volume 7. I wasn't quite so mad at Ko, but everybody tells me I'm going to be mad at Ko again once I read Volume 8. So I have not read Volume 8 yet, but Volume 7 was good. This is another high school shoujo that I really like. This is the one by Ayosaki Saka, who's also doing Strobe Edge, and I believe it's Love Me, Love Me Not that's coming out, I think, in March. It's February or March. I can't remember right off. But either way, those are coming out soon, and yes, I really like this series. I'm hoping I still like Volume 8, even though I know Volume 7 was redemption from Volume 6. Now we have Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro, and this is one where we're dealing with a girl who's bullying the guy she likes. I feel like in the year of our Lord 2020, this shouldn't still be a thing, but their dynamic when they're together and she's not teasing him is really cute, so I'm kind of mixed about whether I'm going to continue this or not. If you guys know how this continues, let me know in the comments down below so I can gauge whether I'm going to like it or not. Next up, we have An Incurable Case of Love Volume 2, which was kindly sent to me by Viz Media. They are so kind to work with me on some of their new releases that are shoujo and josei titles. This is a really cute medical-based shoujo in which we have a girl who trains to be a nurse after an experience with Dr. Tendo, and she wants to be near him because she feels like she's fallen in love with him. But Tendo's actually kind of a mean and grumpy man in person, And so she's kind of grappling with this new reality and trying to figure out her feelings for him while also admiring him as a doctor and learning from him so that she's a good nurse. So it's really good. I really like it. Next up, we have The Young Master's Revenge Volume 1, and this was kindly gifted to me from Danny over at the Panda Post for Christmas. She's an absolute gem. And this one, we're dealing with a boy who is kind of like, his pride was shredded by this girl when they were young, and they're kind of reacquainted as teenagers, I believe, and he's all about getting revenge on her. And I think it turns into a romance for them. So kind of an enemies to lovers style romance. I have not read this volume yet, but I've heard really good things. It's a 4-volume series. I plan on picking up the other 3 very soon, but yes, absolutely love that Danny sent this to me, and I'm so excited because I know she really enjoyed it. Next up, we have Volume 7 and Volume 8 of Sacrificial Princess and the King of Beasts. This is one of the most underrated shoujos, in my opinion. The art style is beautiful because it does center around a romance and an almost political marriage kind of situation. A lot of people are turned off to it, but this is absolutely stunning. I absolutely love it. Basically, this girl was raised all her life to be the slave to the King of Beasts, who is this big lion-y guy here on the front of Volume 8, and instead of becoming a sacrifice, he ends up becoming his bride through circumstances that are awfully spoilery, so I'm not going to share. And so this is about her journey to become his queen. It's absolutely amazing. I absolutely love it. Recommend this with my whole heart and soul. I love it so much. More people need to go and read this. I don't want it to go out of print. Everybody, please just listen and go read my babies because they are wonderful. Next up, one of my favorite people, Mel, over at Mel to the Any, gifted me Volume 1 and 2 of The 7 Princes of the Thousand-Year Labyrinth. Now, this is one where I just read the description on Amazon and was really invested, so I'm just going to go ahead and read that to you. Yuan Juno awakens to find himself part of a group of young people who have assembled in a strange place surrounded by stone walls and endless corridors. Gradually, Yuan and the others learn that they are captive in the castle of the thousand labyrinth, and each of them is a candidate to become the next emperor. This castle, with its twisted secrets and deadly mysteries, could grant their heart's desires or bring them to their knees in despair. I am just so looking forward to this journey. I think it's just going to be this fun quest-style story, and I love those kind of fantasies. I just think they're a good time, so I am really interested to continue on with this one. This one's out from 7 Seas, by the way. Next up, I have Volume 4 and Volume 5 of Snow White with the Red Hair. I absolutely love this series. I might have hauled this in my previous one. I can't remember. I don't think I did. But anyways, this is another one of my all-time favorite shoujos. This is one where I watched the anime first years ago when it first came out, and it just took forever to get the manga in the US. And I will never shut up about this series. Zen and Shirayuki are relationship goals in shoujo manga. I absolutely love this with all of my being. It's so good. Like, go read it. It's amazing. Oh, I didn't put this with the other volume. So Daytime Shooting Star Volume 4, I also picked up this one. I have not read this one yet. This one just came out last week. Yeah, it came out on the 7th of January, so I haven't gotten to this one yet. But I absolutely love the series. Definitely looking forward to digging into this. Next up, we have the case study of Vanitas Volume 6. This one just came out in December. I did get caught up during the 25 days of manga with Volumes 3, 4, and 5. So I am excited to continue on with Volume 6. This is steampunk vampires. I really like it. Not everybody gets along with this series, but I really get along with it. I find it very interesting. I don't get bored. It's great. I like it. Next up, I have Volume 3 and Volume 4 of Komi Can't Communicate. Komi Can't Communicate is a series that came out of left field for me. This is a comedy-style manga centered around a girl with anxiety, but it's done in a really sweet way where it's not just making fun of her anxiety. It shows her reaching out to get the help that she needs. It's beautiful. It's stunning. One of my favorite things. I have read Volume 3. I have not gotten to Volume 4 yet. I'm behind on my manga reading. Please don't judge me. I've been trying to read more prose. And yes, so I'm hoping to get to this soon. Next up, I was kindly gifted Volumes 1 and 2 of Bunny Drop from my friend Natalie over at Book of B. This is a series about a man whose grandfather, I believe, passes away. But at the funeral, everybody finds out that his grandfather had an illegitimate child, this little girl. So it's about this man taking in this little girl as his own and raising her as his daughter. And it is one of the sweetest animes I've ever watched in my entire life. And so I knew I had to collect the manga. And because of this, I know that the series is like out of print or going out of print. So I went and ordered the rest of them. The rest are on their way, but I do have 5, 6, 7, and 10 with me here. This is just one of the best series that I have ever been in contact with. I absolutely love and adore it. I am so excited for continuing on with the series because I know that the anime doesn't finish everything, but you get a good chunk of it. So I am just genuinely excited to dive in. So thank you, Natalie. You're the best. Next up are a couple of omnibuses that I've been hesitant to pick up. I've been looking at this series for like a year and a half, but it had been on hiatus. It is now coming off hiatus. The most recent volume will come out this month, so I decided to finally start picking it up, and that is Carnival. This is one of the josei series that a lot of guys end up liking, a lot of shonen readers. So this is one that I definitely wanted to try out. I think it's going to be a good time. There's no descriptions on the back, but I remember reading the description online and really liking the direction it was going to head, but I can't remember what it is off the top of my head because I have not read it yet. So yes, definitely looking forward to diving into this. Alrighty, next up, my friends at Vertical Comics were kind enough to send me a couple of volumes for review. So they sent me The Golden Sheep Volume 1 and After the Rain Volume 5. After the Rain is one of my favorite seinen series of all time. This is about a girl named Tachibana who is in an accident and ends up feeling very lost. She takes a job at a cafe because the owner of that cafe was very kind to her, and she ends up forming a crush on him and having feelings for him. So it's kind of about their relationship as they work together. It's absolutely stunning. Some of the most beautiful art I've ever seen. I am waiting for somebody to pick up the next Jun Miyazaki manga series because it's stunning art. I need more. And then The Golden Sheep, I do have a dedicated review to this, so I will leave that linked for you. Next up, I have the next 2 volumes in Silver Spoon, which are Volume 11 and Volume 12. I have not read Volume 12 yet, but you guys know I love this series. It is one of my all-time favorites about the agricultural world and Haichiken and all of his friends as he learns what he wants to do with his life. It's absolutely beautiful. One of my all-time favorites. Definitely check it out. Next up here, I have Volume 3 of Beastars. This is a series that is fastly growing in popularity in the community. This is basically Zootopia, Japanese style in high school, and it's about a wolf falling in love with a rabbit. It's cute. I love it. That's all I'm going to tell you. You just go and read the rest. It's more of like murder mystery too, so it's good. And then I have Phantom Tales of the Night Volume 2. This is a series that's very episodic, but is on the border of being almost too creepy for me. So most people would probably really enjoy this. This deals with a demon who steals people's secrets, and it's really interesting. That's all I'm going to tell you. Just go try it. Next, I have Volume 4 of Witch Hat Atelier. This is a series that I love and adore. Definitely has Ghibli-style art in which we're dealing with a young woman named Coco who accidentally finds out how magic works in her world, even though she's technically not gifted with magical powers. And this is about her journey. It's kind of like magic school, Ghibli style. It's really cute. I really love it. Definitely check it out. It definitely has a dark undertone to it too. So just because it looks fluffy and cute doesn't mean it's fluffy and cute. Next up, we have Skullface Bookseller Honto-san Volume 2. This is a really funny series. I believe Volume 3 comes out later this month. I'm definitely looking forward to continuing on. So this is just shenanigans in a bookstore from Honto-san's perspective, and it's just really funny. Great for book lovers everywhere. We also have the final volume of Tokyo Terroraba Girls. You guys have heard me talk about this at length. I do have a dedicated review to that. Anything I have dedicated reviews to, I'll make sure they're all down in the description down below or linked in the cards. So definitely go and check that out for my full thoughts. Next, we have one that I have not gotten to yet, and that is Witch's Printing Office Volume 1. This just looks absolutely adorable about a little witch who's working in a printing office, and that's all I need to know. That's enough alone to get me to pick it up. Next up, we have Part 2 of Cheese Sweet Home. This is cat shenanigans galore. It's in color. It's stunning. Yes. Next up, I have the first 3 volumes of O Maidens in Your Savage Season. This is essentially about girls discovering sex and sexuality in their teenage years. And it's really interesting. It's really hard to read at times. I'm having existential crises about it. I do have a video dedicated to said crises, so I won't share them here because this video is already way long. So check out that video for more of my thoughts. Next up is another Akiko Higashimura title that I'm absolutely loving this year, and that is volume 3 of Blank Canvas. Akiko Higashimura tends to still strip down bare and share all of her stupid mistakes as well as all of the good things in her life in this series, and I love it so much. Whole heart and soul love. Like, it's so good. Next up, we have volume 2 of Way of the House Husband, which again, Viz Media was kind enough to send to me. And in this, we're following a man who is former Yakuza, who has gotten married and is now a house husband because his wife is amazing and brilliant and is the head of the house financially. And so it's about his shenanigans, like he does exercise in this one. He has a former member of his Yakuza gang who's now his apprentice to learn how to shop the deals. Like, it's fantastic. It's really funny. I really love it. Just go try it, okay? Next up, we have To Your Eternity Volume 11, which was a very gracious gift from my friend Hannah over at Highland Manga. She's not been making content recently. I miss her content greatly, but I understand she needs the break. And this is a beautiful series about a being learning about humanity. That's the easiest way for me to describe what this series is about without giving away spoilers. I'm really interested to see where this goes. I think at the very least, we're coming to the end of the first arc, if not to the end of the story, in the next couple volumes. I'm not 100% sure how long the series is in Japan. I don't know if we're current with Japan. I don't know the deal here, but yes. Thank you again, Hannah. You're a doll. Also, all creators that I've mentioned in this video are all linked down below. They're all amazing. Please go check them out. All right, next up, I was kindly gifted volumes 1 and 2 of the Master Editions, Perfect Editions of 20th Century Boys by Naoki Urasawa. This is one that people have been telling me to try for a very long time. And so since I was kindly gifted this from Lindsay over at Lindsay Tut, I do plan on trying out these 2 volumes. If I do not like it from here, I will not continue. I'm just going to be straight up about that. But I am willing to try, so know that that's coming. Aisha over at Mama Loves Manga, you remember I mentioned her earlier. She also got me something else. She got me the 20th anniversary edition of Paradise Kiss in this beautiful edition from Vertical Comics. And it's so floppily beautiful. I love a good floppy volume, but it's like solidly glued up at the top. I'm not going to break the spine on this because it's so floppy. And I am just so excited. We plan on buddy reading this together, so I'm hoping we do that sooner rather than later. Aisha, DM me, we'll schedule this. Next up, I'm not sure if I mentioned this in my previous haul, so I'm just going to mention it here, and that is The Wise Wise Beasts of the Wizarding Wisdoms. This is the same mangaka that does Girl from the Other Side, and this is just a collection of boys' love short stories that are furry. I actually really enjoyed this. I found it to be very entertaining. Most of the stories were very sweet. I didn't enjoy all of the stories, but most of them, for an anthology-style collection, I liked more than I expected to. So next up, I have Magus of the Library, Volume 2. Volume 2 is just as good as Volume 1. I'm anxiously anticipating Volume 3 coming out soon. And this is just a series about a young man who loves the library and loves reading, but he's poor and he wasn't even supposed to go into the library in his neighborhood until these Magus of the Libraries come to visit that library, and they find out and they allow him access to the library. It's beautiful. Any book lover would love this. Highly recommend. 2 more, guys. We're almost there. Next up, I have the collector's edition of Cards Capture Sakura Volume 2. I do also have Volume 1. I can't remember if I hauled that in a previous video or not, but I do have both of them. They're absolutely stunning. Volume 3 comes out later this month, and it is just so stunning, so beautiful. I absolutely love this so much. I like Card Captor better than I like Sailor Moon, and I expected it to be the opposite. So speaking of Sailor Moon, as the final volume in this haul, I did pick up the next Eternal edition of Sailor Moon. These are nice, big, heavy, floppy, big volumes from Kodansha. I do wish they would have made them hardback like the Card Captor ones, but I will take these as they are. They do have beautiful French flaps here. And I have read the series in its entirety, and after I spent some time away from it, because I was really burned by certain things about the series. So yes, I do plan on revisiting the series once I've got all of these Eternal editions collected, and we'll see if my thoughts change. And of course, I will document that journey for you. That is it for the fourth quarter manga haul. I did dip into some of the stuff that I picked up in January just for ease, because then I know from here I can track so that we're on track for the first quarter of 2020. So I have been very blessed, not only financially, but from amazing friends. I did pick up some digital manga as well this quarter. That will come in a separate haul video. I will do my manga haul, my book haul, and then my digital haul you'll see next week. So know that that is coming. There will be a video in between there as well. But yes, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I hope that you'll subscribe and click the little bell so you know when to come hang out with me. You guys, this is YouTube and you know how it works. A like and a comment always makes my day. Thanks for coming by, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.